So I asked you to put your name, date, and period. Okay, and here goes. This comes to you from 11.6, and it's called the triangle inequality theorem. Just like that. Triangle inequality theorem. Today you have 4 objectives. We'll start with objective number 1. Okay? Okay. So objective number 1 is the following. In student-friendly language, I can determine if 3 lengths can make a triangle. It's as simple as that. Now, if that doesn't make sense to you, it will in a few seconds. Now, to start the first concept off, I think we'll start in the form of an essential question. What is the triangle inequality theorem? Question mark. And the answer. Y'all ready for this? This will make sense very shortly. The triangle inequality theorem says something like this. It says, it's going to tell you that the sum of any 2 sides has to be greater than the third side. Write it down. The sum of any 2 sides has to be greater than the third side. I'll give you an illustration, an example, another example, then we'll go on to objective 2. Here's an example. Will 8, 24, and 10 make a triangle? Okay, I want to see a copy of that, and when you're done, I'm going to So here's the test. It says that the inequality theorem says that the sum of any 2 sides has to be greater than the third side. So what you do is you just test it and see. Like, for example, if I took the first 2 sides, 8 plus 24, the sum of those 2 sides has to be greater than the third side, 10. Well, what's 8 plus 24? That's right, 32. Is 32 greater than 10? Yes. Check. Passes that one. Let's add these 2. 24 plus 10. The sum of those 2 sides has to be greater than which side? 8. Well, that's clearly greater because that's going to be 34. 34 is greater than 8. Check. But which two sides did we not add yet? Okay, so we go 8 plus 10, and that's got to be greater than what number? 24. Well, what's 8 plus 10? Is 18 greater than 24? No. Failed. So guess what? Those three sides cannot make a triangle. So the answer is not a triangle. Okay, so if you want the shortcut method, I'm going to put this right here. Shortcut. I'm going to put a star here. Add the two shortest sides and compare to the largest side. That's like how you could do it without doing all three. Here's one last example. Supposing I say to you, does the sides, someone give me a number. Okay, 12, thank you. Give me another number.
15.
Okay, 15. Someone give me another number.
35. 9. 35. 9. 4.
Okay. 21. Okay.
15.
Now, question. If I wanted to, does the sides 12, 15, and 21 make a triangle? What's the shortest, fastest way? Add the two. Yeah. What's the two shortest sides?
12 plus 15.
And make sure it's greater than 21. What's 12 plus 15?
27.
Is 27 greater than 21? That's a yes. So the answer is yes. Because that's true. There you go. Now, if you don't understand the idea of like why this works, this is what I was thinking about all day. Think about what is the most dangerous, if the dinosaurs were alive today, which is the most dangerous dinosaur you ever seen like in a movie?
T-Rex.
T-Rex. What's funny about the T-Rex? Short arms. Do you think that the T-Rex could make a triangle if they put their hands together? No, because their hands wouldn't even reach. It's like here's the analogy. The torso of the T-Rex from one arm to the next is so wide, but one arm maybe it's got like a, I don't know, 8 feet across from one arm to the other arm. But we'll say one arm's 3 feet and the other one's 2 feet. Maybe T-Rex was cheating on his girlfriend and his girlfriend chomped off part of the arm. But are these arms long enough to ever make a triangle?
No.
They'll never reach. Because when you think about it, the sum of the two short sides is not greater than the third side. So 6 is not greater than 8. Not going to make a triangle. Any questions with that? Okay. Now, we're going to move on to Objective 2. Y'all ready for this? In student-friendly language, Objective 2 states the following. I can determine the range of values for the third side of a triangle when given two sides of the triangle. I'm sorry. I didn't hear the... Oh, corn. Sorry. Okay. So check this out. Wait a second. That's messed up. Okay. So here it is. I can determine the range of values for the third side of a triangle when given two sides of the triangle. Here's an example. Find the range of the third side if two sides are 8, say one side is 8, and say the other side, someone give me another number.
20.
Okay, 20. So find the range of the third side, the range of values of the third side. I should say the range of the values of the third side. So, would anyone like me to explain what it means when I say find the range of values? Yeah, listen, it means supposing Miss White was my daughter. And I said, listen, you're my daughter, I love you, I want to treat you to a computer. I don't want you buying no crappy computer, so you got to buy a computer that's valued at more than $500, because anything below 500 is going to be junky, but you can't go over 1,500. You got to stay under 1,500. So it's got to be more than 500, but less than 1,500. So the range is any computer that's more than 500, from 500 to 1,500. Does that make sense? Like here's a range of chicken wings. At any given moment, I could probably eat anywhere from 30 to 50 chicken wings.
You?
Oh, probably. I don't know. I haven't eaten chicken wings in a while. So the range is just the values from the low to the high. Everybody kind of got the idea of a range? Like when you hear the weather forecast, and if you have a boat, they'll say seas will be 3 to 5 feet. That means anywhere from 3 up to 5. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a range. So if one side is 8 and the other side is 20, there's not just one answer. There's a range of values. So to find the low to the high, all you got to do is this. For the low value, subtract. In other words, you go 20 minus 8. Now, we all know 20 minus 8 is 12. That's going to be the low. For the high value of the range, you're going to add the two given sides. So 20 plus 8. And what's that going to be? That means that the third side it can't be 12 and it can't be 28. It's got to be between. So that means it's got to be more than 12 and less than 28. So the way we write that algebraically is we put the low number here, we put a less than, then we put x, which represents the third side, then we put less than 28. So in algebra, that is an inequality that states that the third side has to be greater than 12, but at the same time it's got to be less than 28. So that's like saying between 12 and 28, and that's how you present your answer. So how do you find the low value? Subtract the two sides. How do you find the high value? Add the two sides and rewrite it like that. Any questions with that? Okay.
They say less than 12.
So yes, 12 is less than x, which is less than 28.
Oh.
They call that a compound inequality. It's the same thing as saying x is greater than 12, and at the same time, x is less than 28. Okay, so now, before we get tied up in the notation, Let's go to objective number 3. Are you ready? And we'll be done. Check out objective number 3. I can list the angles or the sides. I can list the angles or the sides of a triangle in order from smallest to, what's that word? Greatest. Here's a very important note. Everything we do in this particular objective is contingent on this note right here. The shortest side of a triangle is opposite the smallest angle. I'll put a little bullet in front and here. Like in PowerPoint, they put bullets. The longest side of a triangle is opposite the largest angle. Okay, that's the note. Copy that down. I'll give you a second to copy that. So here's an example. List the sides from least to greatest. And I'm going to draw a triangle. So there's a triangle. Suppose I call someone give me a letter.
L. B.
Okay, someone said F. B.
A.
What? Okay, C. So now, if I said list the sides of a triangle from least to greatest, what they're going to do is give you an angle. Like, for example, they'll say, this is 105 degrees. Got it? And then they'll say, this is, say, 55 degrees. Yay. And then they'll say, maybe this is 20 degrees. So if I want to list the sides from the shortest side to the longest side, that depends on its opposite angle. So since I'm looking for the shortest side, I mean, you could look at that, but we go by the numbers really. Which is the smallest angle? F, B, or C? F. So you got to remember from your trig days, what does it mean? Like if I said angle F is the smallest angle, what side is opposite of angle F?
B.
No, that's an angle. B is an angle.
Oh, BC.
Yeah, because if you think of the opposite side, it would be side BC. So since F is the smallest angle, then the shortest side is line segment BC. Now, which side do you think is the longest side?
B.
Well, okay, the biggest angle is B, but which is the longest side?
Yeah. Oh, BC.
No.
Wait.
FC.
Okay, FC, because listen,
Add it.
if I'm looking for the longest side is opposite the largest angle. So since B is 105, that's the largest angle. If you draw that imaginary line coming out of there, it always points to its opposite side. So if it's the largest angle, then its opposite side will be the longest side. So that's side what? Line segment FC. Now there's one in between. It's not the longest and it's not the shortest. What side is not the longest or the shortest?
Oh.
Yeah, remember C is the middle angle. Bless you. C is the middle angle. So its opposite side will be the middle side, which is what? BF. Could I say FB also? Now I've just listed the sides in order from smallest to largest, based on that opposite side. Did that make any sense? Any sense? Any questions? Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's expedite this torture. Let's help you out a little bit. Do me a favor, Olvi. What I want you to do, and I'm going to release you very shortly. See what? Seriously? Uh-oh. Turn to the page that looks like this. I'm going to get you through this no matter what. We're going to be just fine. Put your name.
Why are you so long?
Because I was kind of cheap on the paper. The date. Period 7. And do me a favor. You got that paper out, right? This section 1 through 8, this all has to do with objective number 1. Objective 1. Now, before I release you, do you think I could do 1 or 2 with you? Okay, so like number 1. It says determine if the side lengths could make a triangle. Do you remember the shortcut method to see can those 3 make a triangle? And this is on the test. It's on the ELC. They always put this on here. Add the 2 what?
Short side.
Okay, so 8 plus 17, and that's got to be greater than what?
24.
Okay, now I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, what's 8 plus 17? Is 25. Is 25 greater than 24? Is that true or false? So guess what? This is a yes. It could form a triangle. Should we try one more or no?
No.
Okay, number 2.
3 plus 3.
Will this form a triangle?
No.
Is 3 plus 3 greater than 7?
No.
See, that's a false. So guess what? It will never, it's a T-Rex. It'll never make a triangle. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to ask you to do 3, 5, and 7. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. 3, 5, and 7. Got it? Okay. Now, objective 2. This right here, sorry, let me back up. These right here, this is all about objective 2. Got it? Got it? Can I do one with you or no?
Yes.
Okay, so like let's say number 9. They want to know what is the range of values for the third side if they give you 2 sides. So here it is. They're giving you 2 sides. And I got to find the range of values for the third that are allowable for the third side.
22 minus 14.
So what was the first thing we do?
22 minus 14.
Subtract 22 minus 14. That gives you, come on. So you got a calculator. Hurry up.
8.
It's 8. Thank you. And then what do you do to get the high value?
22 plus 14.
22 plus 14. So you subtract and add. That gives you 36. That means the third side has to be between 8 and 36. Can it equal 8? No. Can it equal 36? No, it's got to be between. How do you write that algebraically? 8 is less than x, which is less than... That's what they're looking for. Shall I do one more with you?
No.
Okay, good. Let's try this one real quick. How do you think you find the range of that one? 31 minus 28 for the low. 31 plus 28 for the high. So what's the low value? It's 3. Don't ask me in the way of a question. Now, what's 31 plus 28?
59.
59? Okay, good. So how do you write that to make it acceptable in an acceptable form?
3
Is less than x, which is less than...
59.
Amen. Final objective. You ready? On the right side of your paper, I got to flip mine over. I'll fill this out for you, but listen. What we're trying to do is order, this page right here is objective what?
30.
3 and 4. Okay. Well, once you have to put the sides in order, then you have to put the angles in order. So let's do one of each. Let's take a look at number 1 together. May we do that? It says order the angles from least to greatest. So they got to order the angles, not the sides. They give you the sides. So remember that the shortest side is always opposite the...
The shortest angle. Smallest angle.
But you're right. The longest side is always opposite the...
Biggest angle.
You're right. So if we order this from small angle to large angle, let's find the smallest side. Which one's the smallest side?
17.
17. What angle is opposite that side that's 17?
24.
Listen to the question. What angle is opposite of that side? M. So angle M is the smallest angle. What's the largest angle? N, because the largest side is 24. Opposite of 24 is angle N. But don't forget, you have one angle that's in between. And what is it going to be? Angle P. Because angle P is opposite the middle side. That's the middle angle. Okay, that's ordering the angles given the sides. Now, when you order the sides, here's number 6. This is the last one I'll do with you. They want to put the order of the sides from least to greatest, but here's a problem. They give you 2 angles. You've got to find the third angle. They give you 2 angles. So to find the third angle, you have to know that the 3 angles inside a triangle add up to be what special number? 180. Thank you. That's from Tuesday. So 68 plus 53. I'm so happy you remember that. What's 68 plus 53? You got a calculator? Okay. So if you take 180 minus 121, what's that going to give you? So guess what? You found this angle to be 59. Now you know the order of the angles. What about their sides? So what's the smallest angle? It's V. So since V is the smallest angle, 53, what side is opposite the smallest angle? So you put line segment ST. Now what's the next angle in order? Yeah, it's going to be SV because after 53 comes 59. So because that's the next largest angle, that's angle T. What side is opposite? If this is the middle angle, what's the opposite side? SV. So you got to put S, line segment SV. Now think about it. What's the largest angle here? Well, that's 59. This is 68. So what's the largest angle? What is the largest angle? Angle S. listen to the question. What is the largest angle? It's 68. That's angle S. So if angle S is the largest angle, what's the largest side? Line segment. What? And those are the sides in order from least to greatest. Now let me tell you what your assignment's going to be on this page. On this page, please, listen very carefully. You're going to do, back out, 3 and 5. So 3 and 5 on the second page. Go back to the front page. Because on the front page for objective 2, please kindly do 11, 13, 15, 16. They take seconds to do. 11, 13, 15, 16. So we put 11, 13, 15, and 16. And what are we doing from the other side?
35.
And then 3 and 5. So, are you clear on what you have to do? Awesome. I'm going to stop this recording now. Good luck. I know you're going to do